remembering the luminescent Rita Hayworth, who passed away on May 14, 1987. Rita was the reigning queen of Columbia Pictures when Marilyn was under a 6-month contract with them in 1948. But going beyond that, she was a confident sex goddess on screen, but a shy girl off of it. A celebrated beauty on the cover of magazines with hidden years of treatments to make her look like someone she wasn't. From her very name down to the color of her hair and her on-screen image, she was a carefully manufactured package with lots to remember her for. So make sure you follow this video to the end, smash the subscribe button for 7 years of good luck, and leave a comment "I subscribed," and we'll try our best to get back to you. Her real name isn't Rita Hayworth. Hayworth's real name was Margarita Carmen Cancino. Born in Brooklyn, New York in 1918, her mother was American and her father was Spanish, emigrating to the US in 1913. Hayworth also had 2 younger brothers. She achieved fame during the 1940s as one of the era's top stars, appearing in 61 films over 37 years, and was the top pinup girl for GIs during World War II. As we'll see, unfortunately, Hayworth's Spanish ancestry would cause her a world of pain when she tried to make it in Hollywood. She was molested by her father. Since under California law, Margarita was too young to work in nightclubs and bars, her father took her with him across the border in Tijuana, Mexico. In the early 1930s, it was a popular tourist spot for people from Los Angeles. Hayworth left school at just 12 years old when her father, Eduardo, reinvented her as his dance partner. He dressed her and made her up to look much older, and they started performing together as the Dancing Cancinos in Tijuana, Mexico. According to Hayworth, her father did far worse things than make her quit school and conscript her into working when she was still a child. He also beat and sexually abused her when she was just 10 years old, calling her his wife and dressing her up in garish, sexy clothes. And because she was working, Cancino never graduated from high school, but she completed the 9th grade at Hamilton High in Los Angeles. Her career path. While Margarita's father wanted her to become a professional dancer, her mother hoped that she would become an actress. And because her paternal grandfather, Antonio Cancino, was renowned as a classical Spanish dancer who popularized the bolero and his dancing school in Madrid, Hayworth was given dance lessons as soon as she could stand on her feet. She once recalled, "As soon as I could stand on my feet to when I was 3.5, I was given dance lessons, but I didn't like it very much. But I didn't dare tell my father, so I began taking the lessons and rehearse. That was all my girlhood was about," she said further. She attended dance classes every day for a few years in a Carnegie Hall complex, where she was taught by her uncle, Angel Cancino. And before her 5th birthday, she was already one of the 4 Cancinos featured in the Broadway production of the Greenwich Village Follies at the Winter Garden Theater. Her first film was in La Fiesta. Hayworth started dancing at a young age, and her father made her practice practically every waking moment at home. When Hayworth was only 8 years old, she appeared in her father's dance troupe in a 10-minute-long black-and-white movie called La Fiesta. She smiles in the performance, but young Hayworth's life was far from picture perfect. Her best movie role is in Gilda. Gilda, made in 1946 and directed by Charles Vider, is still probably Rita's best-known role that every man seems to fall in love with and awaken with. Rita played Gilda, alongside Glenn Ford, as a reckless femme fatale with enough sensual firepower to scorch every man she met. But as Rita pointed out, that was not her. A bomb was named after her. One strange thing came of the role. In 1946, it was widely reported that the USA was planning to detonate their 4th atomic bomb in a test over Bikini Atoll in the Pacific Ocean shortly after Gilda's release. In honor of her bombshell status, the bomb bears a photo of Hayworth that was cut from an issue of Esquire magazine with the name Gilda stenciled on it too. Her contract with Fox was short-lived. In one of her dances with her father in a night spot as the Foreign and the Caliente Club, Winfield Sheehan, the head of the Fox Film Corporation, saw her dancing at the Caliente Club and quickly arranged for Hayworth to do a screen test a week later. Impressed by her screen persona, Sheehan signed her for a short-term, 6-month contract at 20th Century Fox Movie Studios under her real name, Margarita. The young star was only 17 years old when she entered, but the new starlet's fame was short-lived. Soon after signing the contract and appearing in a few minor roles, the studio coldly dropped Cancino from their roster. She played opposite Cary Grant in Only Angels Have Wings. Again in 1939, the new-look Rita began to be noticed, appearing in 5 minor Columbia pictures and 3 independent movies in 1937. In 1939, Queen pressured director Howard Hawks to use Hayworth for a small but important role as a man-trap in the aviation drama Only Angels Have Wings, in which she played opposite Cary Grant and Jean Arthur. Queen continued to build up Hayworth in the 1940 features such as Music in My Heart and Angels Over Broadway. The same year, she was featured in a Life magazine cover story and appeared as the second female lead in the 1941 Strawberry Blonde opposite James Cagney. She returned in triumph to Columbia Pictures and was cast in the 1941 musical You'll Never Get Rich opposite Fred Astaire in one of the highest budgeted films Columbia had ever made. She married and divorced 5 times. Her first marriage, Edward Judson. At age 18, Hayworth married Edward Judson in 1937, an oil man turned promoter who was twice her age, and filed for divorce on February 24, 1942 with a complaint of cruelty. Orson Welles. On the 7th of September 1943, Rita was to marry the man she called the love of her life, actor and director Orson Welles. While their happiness should have been complete with the birth of a daughter, Rebecca, the relationship hit the rock when Orson suddenly became a controller. At first, Orson seems to have caught a glimpse of the famous pinup picture of Rita in Life magazine and immediately fell for the ravishing redhead. They got married in 1943, but a year into the marriage, their love affair ended for a tragic reason. When Orson realized that Hayworth wasn't the love goddess she portrayed in films. Instead, she was an insecure, abuse-scarred woman who would never heal from her awful past. But hearing that from Rita was a different story. To her, Orson was another controller who suggests books she should read and wanted to change her image to no short blonde hair and no dancing role in the film he directed in The Lady from Shanghai. Eventually, the marriage broke down, and when Rita sued for divorce, she said, sadly, "I can't take his genius anymore." Prince Ali Khan. Her third marriage got even more publicity than her second. Ali Khan was the playboy son of the fabulously wealthy Aga Khan. They were both married and managed to get divorced in time so that their daughter, Princess Yasmin, could be born in wedlock. Yet, despite the scandal, Rita's popularity survived. There was something vulnerable about her that made women, as well as men, care about her. Her pal Joey co-star Kim Novak said of her, she was just a tender, sensitive, beautiful human being, very gentle. However, the marriage was a short-lived affair that ended in an acrimonious divorce. James Hill. Hayworth began a relationship with film producer James Hill, whom she went on to marry on the 2nd of February 1958. He put her in one of her last major films, Separate Tables. This film was popular and highly praised, although the Harvard Lampoon named her the worst actress of 1958 for her performance. And on September 1st, 1961, Hayworth filed for divorce, alleging extreme mental cruelty. Hill later wrote Rita Hayworth, a memoir, in which he suggested that their marriage collapsed because he wanted Hayworth to continue making movies, while she wanted them both to retire from Hollywood. Her longest affair. Despite Hayworth's accidental punch at her Gilda co-star Ford, the actors began an on-and-off affair during the making of the movie. In a surprise twist, their tumultuous relationship was no flash in the pan. Instead, it lasted for 40 years. In the 1960s, Ford moved next door to Hayworth in Beverly Hills, and the duo remained a relationship until the early 1980s. Tragedy struck. Orson Welles once noted Hayworth's problems with alcohol during their marriage, but he never thought her problem was alcoholism. He just saw this lovely girl destroying herself. He recalled how she'd fly into rages, break all the furniture, get in a car, and drive up in the hills suicidally. But all of that was the beginning of Rita's decline, as her drinking habits started to affect her ability to perform, and much more is her early onset of Alzheimer's, although it would be many years before it would be diagnosed. In 1977, Rita was finally able to stop drinking, but her erratic behavior carried on. In 1980, she was finally diagnosed with Alzheimer's, lapsed into a semi-coma in February 1987, and died at age 68 from complications associated with Alzheimer's disease. Though Rita Hayworth's heart let loose a carefree joy that lit up the silver screen, Margarita Carmen Cancino's hid a lifetime's pain and an endless search for love. And that is it on today's video. Know any other facts we didn't mention in this video? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share, and subscribe for more of our celebrity videos.